Welcome to the Edumagic New Educator Podcast, the go-to show for supporting new educators navigating the exciting journey from campus to the classroom. Join your host, Dr. Sam Fessich, for a blend of inspiration, advice, and practical strategies, one cup of coffee at a time.
I'm Ann, co-host of Transparency in Teaching, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hello, Edumagicians, and welcome back to another episode of the Edumagic Podcast. My name is Dr. Sam Fessich, and today I have with me Leanna Malinowski. Now, Leanna just won the Faye Snodgrass Award here at Kappa Delta Pi because we're recording live at KDP. So, Leanna, how does it feel to be awarded this amazing trophy? Like you said, a trophy with Faye's name on it.
Thank you for having me today, Dr. Sam. It's great to be back because I have been with you before, and I always like talking with you and the pre-service teachers and all educators that may be listening to your podcast. But I think I'm still in shock, so I'm going to sort of, process this for the next few hours. But I've known Faye for quite some time, and she's helped me become more involved in KDP as an organization, and she's just an inspiring human as well as an inspiring educator, and you can just tell that she has passion for everything that she does because she does so much advocacy work for students, and she does a lot for pre-service teachers and those in the field, which we know teachers are essential for students. So she's helping the teachers out there. So essentially she's helping the students through them, and just to have her name on any award, or even just for me, a piece of paper would have been great. But it was just an honor to receive this award and knowing that, and hopefully continuing that my work is making a difference just like hers.
And it absolutely is. You are, when they were reading off all of the different qualifications and the certifications and the experiences, when did you realize it was you?
I have to say a little bit in the beginning, not to sound like a spoiler alert, but last year I was the 2022-2023 Middlesex County Teacher of the Year in New Jersey. And I turned to my chapter member and Cadelpian best friend, Shannon, who also won a prestigious award today. Individually, she was inducted in the Eleanor Roosevelt chapter, which is an honor. I said, Shannon, this sounds familiar, because I was kind of saying it along with Dr. Liz Elliott. And then when they mentioned reading specialization and the organization I'm getting my specialist certification from, I went, how many other people in the room probably have that one? I said, oh my God, that's me. I said that had to be me, because I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't think anybody else is doing their practicum hours right now. I think I'm the only one typing lesson plans tonight for my practicum while I'm presenting at this awesome convocation.
Oh my gosh. I'm just so proud of you. And they were like, reading specialist, and you have this certification, you've done this. I'm like, it's Leanna.
Right?
I think it might be.
It sounded familiar.
And the person who introduced you, like, I think we all know who this might be. And there were people, like, I was sitting towards the back, I'm like, yeah, well, of course we know who this is going to be. So
oh my goodness.
It was so cool to be in the room where it happened.
Thank you. Yes. I said I don't even remember that moment, so I'm going to rely on everybody else's memories for me to patch it together, because I was just in shock, and it brought a tear to my eye, because my story, my journey, with where I am and everything, I've always wanted to make a difference in this field. And I'm realizing as I get older, it's, through these things, and it's not about the awards, right? And I just got done saying to someone else, when our chapter wins awards, our officers look at it as, that's just a symbol. It's just a representation that we did something for other teachers, because other teachers help serve our students, and our students are our future. So that's just a symbol to me that all those late nights and all those hard mornings driving into school, and I'm tired, and, all of the work that my chapter puts into things. And even with our mistakes and our failures, it's okay to make those mistakes, because I've made plenty of them. I even pointed out to my students yesterday before I got on the plane, look, Miss M just made a mistake. It does pay off in the long run. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that my work continues to do that, because this just gave me fuel to continue to do that. I was tired on the flight here, and I said, I'm tired and I just want to sleep. And maybe I'll just take a break, and I'm like, no, now I have to piece it together, zip it up, and let's go. Let's do it. Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
I'm excited now. I'm excited. Let's do it. Let's keep busy.
All right. So one of the ways you're keeping busy and you're keep going is through KDP Convo. You're speaking tomorrow and you're sharing about family engagement. Can you tell why this is a topic pretty close to your heart?
Yes, I've done this presentation several times before because with my work through KDP and all the pre-service teachers that I meet, one of the areas, there's many areas they ask me about, content reading in particular. They don't ask me about math because they know better, but they ask me, like, what are some of the best ways I can continue to have my families engaged? Because we know the old African proverb, it takes a village, and that's true. And I think that since COVID happened, families were kind of forced to be involved a little bit more than they were used to. And I think that started a good trend. We always talk about the negative side of COVID, and trust me, there's plenty of those negative sides. But one of the things I've noticed after being in the classroom for about 15 years is I have families that are in more communication with me now more than ever. And they're always reaching out to me. And it's just through simple things, you being a tech specialist. I don't know where we were without Class Dojo because it's text messaging without knowing the number, right? Yeah. It's a safety place, and there's all different things that company is creating. Like there's little islands and there's little games and things for the kids to get involved in. So, I said to myself a few years ago, I keep getting this question. And when people keep asking me the same question, I find the need to either find a solution to it or in a proactive, slightly reactive way, say, okay, what can I do to help them understand it? So I said the best way for me to tell someone else about something that they want to know is through my own experiences. Mm-hmm. The literacy person in me knows we learn best through stories. We don't remember stats. We don't remember numbers. Sorry, math gurus, but we remember stories. Mm-hmm. So I share my experiences, and, I've gotten positive feedback from it before, and I said I'll just keep working on it, fine-tuning it. I always ask the pre-service teachers during the session and after, like, what did you learn today? What can I do better next time? Mm-hmm. And I write it down and I try to put it in because we have to communicate with our families and find those creative ways as an individual teacher and then with our schools to help get them involved.
Right.
And it's important.
It is so important. I know our pre-service teachers, when they go into student teaching, they might not have, and usually they don't have a lot of opportunities to communicate with families because it's the host teacher, the cooperating teacher's classroom. What are some small ways they can start to practice or flex that muscle so when they go into a job interview, they can share, oh, here are some ways I kept in touch with families, or here are some things that I shared with the families of my students? Absolutely.
This is great because, again, when you're doing your clinical internship work, there are some fine lines where you can and cannot reach out to families and the boundaries, which are for student safety and privacy, and we respect that. But there's some general things that the pre-service clinicians can do. They can create simple weekly flyers, and I do this. Canva is key. That's what I always say.
Yes.
I don't know how I survived without Canva. Or Class Dojo. Or so many of these other apps, and I'm saying to myself, like, my answer to everything now is, I'll do it in Canva. Yes. And I said, I was even reluctant because I'm, getting up there in my years of service. I'm like, I don't want to learn a new platform. I had to learn so many. And my officers actually said, no, Lee, you've got to learn this. And I said, okay. And now I'm like, I thank them for forcing me out of my comfort zone. So maybe I should have started there, actually. Find something that maybe you haven't tapped into, like Canva, or something that's an app or whatever that will help you come out of your comfort zone and practice with that. Even if you can't really send it to a family, it's okay to do like we do mock interviews. It's okay to do mock communication. But ask your cooperating teacher, can I make a weekly newsletter to send out to families with whatever subject area or areas you're teaching, and give them a little preview. Like this week, we're going to be learning, I'll just use my classroom as an example. Again, I share from experience. I say we're learning these 3 letters and sounds this week. Please practice. We're learning these words and how to spell them. We're doing math lesson 5, which is addition, finding missing addends. One of the things I've seen from other teachers, because we always borrow ideas, I always give a book suggestion now.
Oh, I like that.
And it's usually a book that my littles, because I teach first grade, whatever we've done for a read aloud in class, the one that made their mouth pop open and they're all interested in, I always try to pick that one because they just read it, they just had the experience, they can make the connection at home. And hopefully, by the time they get home off the bus, they remember the story still.
Right.
So even if they can't read the words yet, if you're teaching little kids, they can still remember the book. Or if you're in high school, maybe you're doing a class novel series.
Yes.
And I always do a quote about education or learning. So just to give families a little bit of inspiration that they're teachers too. In fact, they're their child's first teacher because they're with their family in those first important years. So it doesn't have to be long and detailed, and that's a way to communicate with families that they can share on job interviews. They know how to make a weekly newsletter. Yeah. And that's one of the things, one of our district goals is communicating with families more and building those relationships. And we do them as a grade level, and I do them in my classroom. So you might have to do it in your school, so get the practice.
Yeah, that's such a practical strategy, too. That's something that they can go right to their cooperating teacher on Monday and say, I think I'd like to try this. What do you think? And give them like that practical strategy. I can do a newsletter about the topics we're covering, and that can go out to the families. Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's simple. For me, so simple. And once you have the Canva template, my friends, just make it the way you like it. That first time, take the extra 10 minutes, play around with the graphics. I don't have to change a thing now because it's with my classroom theme. My wonderful co-teacher helped develop our classroom theme, and I have it there. I change the date. I change what we're doing. I change the quote. It takes literally 8 to 10 minutes max. It's that quick and simple after the first initial round when you have to make it, but it's easy.
And that's great. And then as a parent, you get that same newsletter, you know what to expect.
Yes.
What's going to be in it. Where's the homework going to be? Where's their spelling list? Where are their sounds that they're practicing? That's beautiful.
And if the cooperating teacher says it's okay, because we know all families, they don't have technology at home or access to certain things. I send mine digitally, but I always let families know in the beginning of the year, if you ever need something that's digital on paper, let us know. That cooperating teacher probably has that list, and they know, and you can easily print it out and send it home in a homework folder, or just put it in an envelope or something like that. So it's easily accessible, paper or digital.
Right, and sending it through Class Dojo, popping on your class website.
I put it everywhere. It's on Google Classroom, my Google site, Class Dojo, and I just let them know, like, hey, we had the weekly newsletter up, and then if anyone needs a paper copy, let me know.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. So I know we're getting to a lot of little nitty-gritties for your topic that you're presenting tomorrow. What is one key takeaway before we end out today that you want future teachers to know about communicating with families?
Just that it can get a little overwhelming, and you always want to strive and do so much for families because we care.
Yes.
And I not to do a spoiler, but I have a funny slide, and I hope that those that will listen will come tomorrow if they're here. Even if you just send out one communication, you did it that day. And it's okay. And I try to set those boundaries for myself now to have certain office hours or time for me to do it. And don't think any less of yourself. If you have one of those days, it was a tough day in the classroom, or a student got sick, or you have an important appointment after work and you can't do the things in your mind you wanted to do, it's okay that day because you know you will be in communication with your families. Yes. And make it simple and easy for you that maybe even if you are waiting for your doctor appointment, you can do it.
Well, Leanna, I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Can you quickly share the details about where your session is and what time we can find you?
Yes, tomorrow at 8:30, I believe I'm in Mills 6. I would check the signs because, like I said, I had a little bit of a great overwhelming day, so the number might have left my mind, but I know I'm in one of the Mills rooms, and it's the first session, 8:30 in the morning.
Perfect.
So just look for engaging families, communication, and conferences. That's me.
Excellent. Well, we'll have our coffee and we'll be ready to roll. Thank you so much, Leanna.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Edumagic New Educator Podcast. If you found it helpful, please leave a rating and review or share it with a friend. Always remember, you have the Edumagic in you.